Hey, Joe, can you see me okay? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I know we already spoke on the phone. My name is Parker Powers. I'm actually the servicing manager here at Globe Life American Income Division. I know I spoke with you and Mary about your benefits through the Pipefitters Union, correct? Is Mary there with you?
Yeah, she's right here.
Awesome. All right, great. Well, I got to tell you guys, I have all your benefits right here. One thing is I absolutely love that they let us use Zoom now. It just makes things go by 10 times faster for both of us. So listen, do not worry. I'm really not going to take up too much of you guys' time. But let me go ahead and get some of this set up real quick. I know I show here you guys are still in Katy, aren't you?
Yeah. How long is this gonna take?
Oh, I mean, the faster the better. With us using Zoom, it does not take long at all. And listen, like I said, for me, the shorter, the better. I see 2 to 3 members on the hour. And I just have to go through this with all you guys. They had me run around like crazy. So you're gonna love what they have set up for you. And I do want to make sure you understand everything and I can answer any questions you guys have and what you're entitled to. But like I said, Zoom makes this go by so fast.
Yeah, no worries. I was just wondering.
Let's see here. Yeah, so are you guys still in Katy? Or I know it looks like you guys moved a couple times. You moved from Houston to Katy, and you guys are originally from Dallas, it looks like.
Yeah, we're in Katy right now.
Awesome. Okay. How long you guys been out there?
Couple years, about two years.
Oh, awesome. You guys originally from Texas or no?
Yeah, we're from Arlington.
Oh, okay. I'm originally from Oklahoma, but I've been in Houston for geez, almost like 18 years. So I feel like a Texan. Let's see here. So Joe, you're in the Pipefitters Union, aren't you?
Yeah, that's correct.
So are you like I mean, I know what you guys do. Are you like a team lead or like what's your kind of like your ins and outs for that?
No, I'm just a pipe fitter, but hopefully I'll be a team lead soon.
So I do you enjoy it or is it like everything else? Like it has its ups and downs, right?
It has its ups and downs for sure.
Okay, I can understand that. I know I showed you because you have a son and a daughter, don't you, that I see listed here on the policy?
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome. What are the ages?
My daughter's 5 and my son is 8.
So you guys definitely have a handful. So is Mary like does she work as well or she her main job is take care of the kiddos and we're keeping the house in order, make sure she keeps you in check as well.
Exactly. Yeah. She does all that.
She must have the hardest job at all. I understand that.
Yeah, sometimes.
Well, listen, I got everything set up for you guys, and just so you know, like you're probably dying to know by now. So, just kind of let me tell you exactly why I'm visiting with you, what I'm gonna do. My job's really simple. It's just supposed to go over those no cost benefits that are already set up for you. Then I'm gonna go over some additional benefits that you might qualify for. But listen, Joe, Mary, just so you know, so our company, American Income, we actually work with over 20,000 different local labor unions, credit unions, and associations across the United States. One of them being your pipe fitters union. But I mean, Joe, especially here, like, even if you don't like the unions, or even if you do, the one thing we both can agree on, we know for a fact that they do provide the best benefits. And a huge reason for all of that is actually because of their relationship with American Income for over 70 years. But as you can imagine, I've told you they literally have me running around like crazy. So let me go ahead and get started. We'll jump right into your first no cost benefit. Okay.
Okay.
So Joe, Mary, you guys' first no cost benefit is actually the Child Safe ID Kit mobile app. Now they're endorsed by the International Union of Police Associations. And I know you guys live in Katy and been around the area for some time. You have to know a bunch of families with kids, don't you?
Yeah, we do. Know a bunch of families.
Well, listen, did you guys happen to know that 90, excuse me, here in Texas, that we lead the nation in abductions?
I did not know that. No.
Did you know that 93% that as I was just saying, those children, they're never found within 24 hours. And if they are, they're normally dead or no longer with us.
I did not know that. No.
Yeah,
That's
it's a stat that's not getting better. It's not something that's even fun to talk about, especially, we deal with Amber Alerts and everything going on nowadays. The actually Amber Alert was based in Arlington there when they originally were dealing with that, but that's the entire reason they decided to make this comprehensive app. It's to help find a missing child, and in this case, Ben and Abby. But what I want you guys to do, I know you have your phones there. Pull out them for me and go to the App Store and download the Child Safe Kit ID app for me. You'll see it there in the App Store, or if you're on a Android, you can use the Google Play Store.
what do I type in?
Child Safe Kit.
Okay, and it's the blue one.
Yeah, and it looks just like you're gonna see it there. It looks just like a yield sign.
Okay.
You see it okay?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, perfect.
I
Let
just
me know when you get that downloaded.
It's downloading right now.
Perfect, okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually gonna give you a QR code that you can use to activate it, and then you'll be able to put all of their necessary information in. The main thing important about this app, Joe, and Mary, for you guys and your children, I know that like if you guys were at the grocery store, if you're at HEB or Kroger, and were walking with Ben or you were walking around with Abby, and all of a sudden you look up and Ben's not there or Abby's not there or they're both gone. You see the camera and all of a sudden, what's going on? Someone's walking out the front doors with our child. I mean, in that moment, you're frantic. Motherly and fatherly instincts take over. You don't know what to do. It's very difficult in that time to have to not only communicate to the authorities, but also remember, oh, the height and weight and all of that information in regards to your child for the authorities to have an effective answer and be proactive about looking for your child. That's the main reason they wanted to create this app. And I just want you guys to, be aware of that because it's something that we never think about until that time comes, right? But what I want to do, I'm going to share my screen with you here. You're going to see the QR code popping up. Feel free to scan that, and then you'll be able to have access completely into the app.
Okay, and it says child profile 1.
Yep, correct. So you guys will be able to go through and put all that necessary information in for your children. But like I said, I know you guys know how important this could be, but being endorsed by the International Union of Police Associations, they're actually asking that you refer at least 5 families in for this app. And listen, people always want to put down a bunch of families, the whole football team, the entire PTO. And I know you guys know a lot of families in the area. And truthfully, me just being blunt about it is that, me getting this out to 100 families and being able to save one child, that's me doing my job. And the police units do a great job about that. But I know you guys mentioned you had a new family in the area and stuff. Who would you like to put down first?
You can put down my sister, Tiffany.
Okay. And that's common spelling, Tiffani?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. And the next person?
You can put my cousin, Brett.
Okay. And how many children does Tiffany have?
She has 1.
Okay. And for Brett?
Brett has 2.
Perfect. Okay. And the next person?
Put my uncle. His name is Brant.
Brand. Okay. And that's common spelling, Brandt?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. All right. And the next person?
Put Tyler.
Tyler. Perfect. And how many children for Brent and Tyler?
Brant has 1 and Tyler has 1 and he has 1 on the way.
One on the way. Awesome. Okay. My sister just had a baby, so I know they're excited.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you. And your final spot here.
You can put down Randall.
Randall. Perfect. Okay. And how many children does Randall have?
He's only got 1.
One. Okay. And what's Tiffany's last name?
Miller.
Okay. And her best telephone?
Oh, you need her number?
Yeah, so we have to have their number to be able to contact them and do exactly what I'm doing with you today so they can have the QR code and have access to the app as well. And listen, you guys will reach out to them first before I'm not going to be calling them, bugging them or anything. You guys will communicate to them. If they would like access to it, I will personally reach out. It will not be any of my assistants or anyone else in the office.
Okay, yeah, I just don't know if I'm comfortable giving out their number. I mean, you seem like a nice guy and all. They just probably wouldn't appreciate it.
Oh, listen, I mean, Joe, Mary, I understand how you feel. And to be honest with you, a lot of our members has felt the exact same way. Listen, it's pretty difficult like nowadays to know what company can I trust. People are calling me all the time, and which ones you can't, right? But I do want to ask you one question. Do you think that 20,000 different groups would choose this insurance company over all of the others to advise their members if they did not trust that company?
Probably not. No.
Probably not, right? Of course not. Now you did receive a letter, and you asked when that letter would return a card again for your Pipefitters Union. Now the people you sponsor into this program, they're going to receive a phone call instead of a letter. It's simple as that, so they can choose for if it's right for them. Now let's just give them the option, and by doing this, they can decide on their own if they want it for their family. If they're not interested, no worries. We have no dog in the fight. Our job is just to relay the information that you sponsored them for. But what I have found is that most of the members that are sponsored into the program, they happen to love it and they take advantage of it, even more because they normally would not be able to get it or have access to it. Now I know you said we have Tiffany down the first one. She has one child. What's her best telephone number?
It's 281
Okay,
768
perfect.
1418.
1418. Awesome. Okay, I have that here. And then for Brett,
Is 832
okay,
327
perfect.
0800.
Okay. And then for Brant,
Is 281 954
okay.
1068.
And I'm assuming is Brett is your cousin and then your uncle, are those the same last names as Tiffany Miller?
No, Brant is McCoy, but Brett
McCoy, perfect, okay. And then for Randall,
is 713
okay,
595
okay,
8282.
perfect. And what's Randall's last name?
Lillard,
Lillard. That's Lillard.
yes.
Awesome, okay. Perfect. We got all that in here. So what I want to do is I want to jump right into you guys' next no cost benefit. What this is, it's the AIL Plus discount card. Now, Joe, so how are your benefits through work?
All right.
Probably as you can expect. Well, listen, I'm going to tell you one thing. You're going to absolutely love this. All of our members do. It goes a long way. But as you can see, you're going to see here on my screen, I want to share this with you to give you an idea, kind of a visualization of what you can see. And that's loading in for you right there. So what the AIL Plus card is, I'm sure you definitely know by now that, you cannot rely on your group benefits because you do not own them and you do not control them and they can change at any time. So what this no cost benefit helps with is helps fill in some of those gaps. So it gives you up to an 85% discount, things like dental, vision, prescription drugs, hearing aids, telemedicine, even like chiropractic services, all of those things listed and even more that you can see on your screen. Now, so the membership does require an annual renewal. And that's a no cost to you. So we basically just let you know when it's time to renew once a year. You don't even have to think about it. And you're gonna laugh at this, but it's pretty funny. People always tell me oh, I have my Kroger card. I'm not gonna, actually use this, blah, blah, blah. Right. And they find themselves using it all the time because you're probably just like me. We all like saving money. But again, at no cost to you guys, and, it gives you that extra peace of mind. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you guys an activation email in the next couple of days. You'll see it. Shouldn't go to spam, but just be on the lookout for it. And what I do want you to pull out your phones as well. I know we have the child safe kit down there. Go to the app store for me and type in AIL Plus, and you're going to see it pop up with a blue background, and the plus is going to be green. And go ahead and download that, and you'll be able to go through everything with your activation email.
Okay, is it the one that says benefits access on the go?
Yes.
Got it. You said I can't use this one yet.
No, so you can't use that one just yet. When your activation email comes through, you'll be able to go through all of it and set it up.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Awesome. Okay. Do you guys see how those discounts can go a long way for you guys in the family?
Yeah, they probably could.
I know for me and my family, especially with little ones, we all always love saving money. Now, listen, so you guys' next no cost benefit, it's actually the accidental death and dismemberment certificate. Can you see that okay?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So Joe, what this is for you, so it's a living benefit. Now that pays you $2,000 for the loss of one hand, one foot, or sight in one eye, or double that amount, $4,000 for the loss of any two. Now, Miss Mary, for you, this is a death benefit. This will pay you $4,000 should Joe, God forbid, die accidentally. Now listen, I understand that $4,000 does not seem like a lot of money. And it's really, in today's time, it's not. But I know if for you, Mary, if Joe were to pass away, his paycheck and his income, that goes right along with him. And I can definitely imagine that put a crunch on the budget for not only you, Mary, but for the children, Ben and Abby. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Well, listen, you can understand that definitely at least be some help, right?
Yeah, sure.
Well, what I'm going to do is, so I'm actually going to email you your certificate just for your records. You're going to receive the actual green certificate that I showed you in the mail. Just make sure you want to fill it out completely. Make sure you, dot all your I's, cross all your T's, send it to the PO box in the right-hand side, just to ensure that you're covered. Okay. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Okay. And one last thing here, I actually do need to put down 2 emergency contacts on here, just in the event, Joe, and for you, Mary, if you were to die in a common accident together. It's very wise. So they do live in our state. They're above the age of 18, and of course, they're not residing in your current residence. But who'd you like to put down as your first emergency contact?
My mom,
Perfect. Okay, and her name?
Stephanie, Stephanie.
Okay, and the next person.
Put, I think. What's this for? This for emergency contact?
Yeah, so these are the emergency contacts on your accidental death and dismemberment certificate. Just so that if you guys were to die in a common accident, for this example, Ben and Abby will be able to get that money paid out to them, and they'll assist in the claims process.
Oh, okay, yeah, so these people aren't getting the money.
No, 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 no.
Yeah, put my uncle Ernesto.
Okay, Ernesto. And for Stephanie, your mother, what is her last name?
Miller.
Okay, and her best telephone?
281-731.
Okay.
9392.
9392. And then for Ernesto?
281-711-8122.
8122. And Ernesto's last name?
Sentado.
Sentado. How do you spell that one?
It's Cintado.
Perfect. All right. So I have those down. So you guys are definitely going to need our local office number. Now, can you grab your phones with me? I know you have them near. I do want to give you that number and allow you guys to input that, okay?
Okay, yeah.
So let me know when you're ready.
Yep, whenever you are.
832
832
327
327
0800.
0800.
And you can save that on your phone as AIL. It'll go right to the top of your contact list. So if you have any questions or need assisting in the claims process, you'll be able to go through that number or reach out to me personally. But just so your family does get the money they are entitled to, I'm going to be calling your emergency contacts personally, just so they know what to do in the event of a claim. So if you could just give them a heads up, let Ernesto know, let Stephanie know that I'm going to be giving them a call in regards to that information, because it's a huge responsibility, dealing with any kind of sum of money, and just so they know what they have access to, and asking them if they have any questions about the process. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
All that makes sense as well.
Yeah.
Perfect. So now you do know, Joe. So that policy, your AD&D, so it's just on you, right? Now, the second part of this benefit is what it does. You can extend this to your closest family members and friends, long morning, no cost to you, no cost to them. So just how that works, right? Let's just say, God forbid, something happens to your mother, Stephanie, okay? She's to die in an accident. Now, a $2,000 policy, just like yours, it's going to pay out to her family as well. No cost to her, no cost to you. Now, all you're basically doing, you're just giving them the option to take advantage of this, just as you are right now through your pipe fitters union. Now, the only thing is the ability to extend all of this is tied to my visit with you today. That's due because your enrollment period. So it's just important, like, don't prejudge anyone's situation, let them really decide for themselves, just as you are. And just so you know, they do give you guys $20,000 worth of this benefit. I mean, I don't know anybody giving out, $20,000 for free, but they certainly do. So this means you guys can extend it up to 10 families. Of course, obviously, Ernesto, Stephanie, they're already taken care of. Your emergency contacts, so they're included. But that does leave you with 8 more spots. Now, I know you mentioned you guys had family in the area, and with what you guys have going on with you and the pipe fitters and your coworkers, let's get this out to them so they can take advantage of it. You have $20,000 this benefit to basically just give away free money. And you might as well take advantage of your spots. But who's the first person you'd like to put down?
You could put my coworker Dylan.
Dylan, perfect. Okay. The next person?
Yeah, and then the last person is probably gonna be Luis, Luis.
Okay, and then Dylan's last name?
It's Marroquin, which is Marroquin.
Perfect. Okay, and then his best telephone?
954.
Okay.
088.
Okay.
2188.
2188. All right, and then Luis's last name?
Almaguer. Almaguer.
All right, and the best telephone?
Is 904.
904.
504.
504.
5040.
5040. Perfect. Okay. Well, I do want to let you know, so I know that's kind of all you can think of at the moment. you do have, I mean, basically $14,000 left of this benefit. And, you definitely want to take advantage of it. But, again, in regards to that, if you just giving away free money, is there anyone else, all close families, that you think you would really appreciate an extra $2,000?
That's free, right?
Yeah, completely free.
Yeah, I mean, you can put down my friend Troy
Okay. Troy's last name?
Prenat, Prenatt.
Okay. Anybody else?
You can put down my friend Hunter.
Okay. And his last name?
It's Benark, Bednarek.
Perfect. Okay. Anyone else at all?
Yeah, and they have to be in Texas.
They do have to be in Texas, correct?
You can put down my friend Cole
Cool. Okay. Cole's last name?
Carpenter.
All right. Anybody else?
No, that's
Okay.
all I can think of.
And I do want to ask you here, so what is Cole's best telephone number?
281
Okay.
977
Okay.
3713.
Perfect. And then for I might butcher this last name here, but for Pronto, what was the last name? Prenette?
Prenat.
There we go.
I'm gonna tell them that's funny. It's 904
904
261
261
1137.
1137. Perfect. Okay. And then we have your final spot here. Again, I'm gonna butcher this last name as well. I just have to say the first name. For Kyle, what is the best telephone number?
It is 904
904
023
023
1052.
052. Perfect. Okay. We have those down. I'm gonna give you guys like a little bit of homework, right? Same things you did for your child safety kits. Give those out to your friends, take care of their families, as well as your family members, and your emergency contact. You want to make sure you guys extend these benefits to, right? A heads up, a phone call, a text message, just letting them all be calling them personally the next couple of days. Normally, as long as they do have a heads up, I promise you they're pretty happy about it. But if they think I'm calling and they don't know who I am, why I'm calling, anything about us at all, not only do they get confused, but they end up being either mad at the both of us, which neither of us want. So please just, make sure you reach out to them, give them a heads up. I do want to ask you guys, if you guys can do me that favor, I promise you I won't call them and bug them, but can you guys make sure you reach out to them for me?
Yeah, for sure. You said you promise you won't call them and bug them?
No, I will not call them and bug them. I will not reach out to them unless they would like to be spoken to after you've reached out to them yourself.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you can call them. I don't care if they get mad. I'll let them know that.
Okay, perfect. Well, if you want, I'll send you guys over a brief text message real fast, and you can actually send this over to them so they have an idea of who they'll be speaking to.
Okay.
All right, you should have just got that, Joe. And you can just use that as my name and information in there so they have an idea of who they'll be, going over everything with and who will be calling.
Okay.
But what I want to do for not only you, Joe, but also you, Mary, I'm going to jump into you guys reviewing those exclusive benefits that are through your Pipe Fitters Union. Now, these you do have to qualify for. Okay, all the families, I got to tell you, they love this part of the program. It's really why we work with those 20,000 different groups, and really why they handpicked us, right? To handle their permanent, but also those portable benefits for them for the past 70 years. But I will say one thing, like Joe, next time you go to your union meeting, you definitely got to give them a huge thanks for setting this up for you. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
What we're going to do, so we're actually going to start with you guys' needs analysis software. Now, for you, Joe, and also you, Mary, and like your family, most people, they don't have the right coverage simply because they don't know what they need. So in a couple of minutes, after I go over everything with you and review this, you're definitely going to know exactly where you're at. And I'm just going to ask you a couple of questions to see really where you are at. Before I do want to ask you a couple preliminary questions here, just to make sure you can have access to the Needs Now software. And the first one here, you do have to be a member of an authorized group or sponsored in by someone. You guys already are through the Pipe Fitters Union, including your family. The second thing here, Joe, and for you, Mary, is that you do have to have an active checking account with a bank. Do you guys have an active checking account?
Yeah, are you gonna try to sell us something?
So listen, did you read the information that like you received the confirmation after you signed up for the kits in regards to like your profile for your program that you sent out, the card you returned?
I mean, a little bit.
Okay, well, that explains where some of the confusion is might come from. So my job's really simple. It's just to explain the benefits, answer the information and questions you guys may have, and just make sure what you guys are entitled to. You know, you guys can do with whatever you want with all this information. You know, I have no dog in the fight. You are going to love what they have set up for you. I just want to make sure that I get credit for my visit with you. So by going over this, okay, you know, it's no pressure for me at all. But I just want to make sure you guys know what you're entitled to, and I can answer any of those questions. If anything, you guys leave more educated.
Okay,
So you guys do have an active checking account, so you said, correct?
yeah.
Awesome. Okay. And have either of you or anyone in the household been diagnosed with COVID-19 in the past? And if so, when?
No, we never have.
Awesome. So it's healthy all around. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get the needs analysis pulled up here. And Joe, what did you say your birthday was one more time?
My birthday is May 18th, 1977.
Perfect. Okay. You guys are gonna hear some videos in the background. I'm gonna jump right through this. I don't want to bore you today with going through the videos. I told you I'd make it the quick first, didn't I?
Yeah, thank you.
Due to the since
How long have you been doing this, Parker?
I've been in it, I'll tell you, you know, long enough to know that the 7 days a week work schedule can definitely get you tired.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So you guys, the first thing here, the question we have in regards to your survey is, you know, the biggest concern normally for like our families and for you guys, it's always comes to affordability. So they do have it set up at a 1 hour's wage per week. Now, just to make sure like we have an accurate, what is like a ballpark figure of your monthly income?
Together?
Yes, it is. I thought Mary's a homemaker, isn't she?
Yeah, I was just kidding.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Around 3,200, I think. Yeah, around 32.
perfect. And have you guys had the opportunity, like for either of you to decide, like, you know, I know it's like a dinner time conversation normally, but for a funeral, traditional funeral or cremation?
Oh yeah, we're just gonna have a cremation.
Awesome. Okay. And now listen, I do see like a lot of families that they, you know, have insurance and things outside of their work or benefits. Because I know you guys don't have your group benefits, right? We don't control them, like change. But so do you guys have anything outside of work at all?
I've got like $50,000 term. And I think Mary, didn't your mom want? Yeah, her mom set up like a $10,000 life whole insurance.
Oh, awesome.
Something like that.
Smart to do that when they're young. That's awesome to have, guys.
Yeah, it's like $5 a month.
Yeah, it goes a long way, doesn't it? So did you guys did you get any, like for you, Joe? I know through the Piper's Union, did you happen to get any death benefits at all through work?
Yeah, they give us like $20,000. I don't know what it is. Probably accidental.
Okay, great. So that's, you know, I heard a good idea of how those work. Did you get like the same as everybody? Was it like in the umbrella coverage? Did you pick your benefits?
Oh, I just one day they told us to sign up our benefits, and so I logged into my online portal and signed up.
Went right
I don't
through
even
it.
know what I got. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, and then so are you guys going through renting, or do you own your home?
Oh, we own
And what's the balance on the home?
on the home, like I guess like 120,000.
And how many years remaining on the note?
We just started, so 24 years left.
4, perfect. Okay. Awesome. And so about, you know, outside of the house, how much debt would you guys say that you have?
None.
Awesome. And have you guys started saying for college education for Ben and Abby? I know they're 8 and 5, pretty young.
No, we have not.
Okay.
I don't even know what middle school they're gonna go to.
And Joe, what was your best email again?
J_Miller@yahoo.com.
Perfect. And the number I've been calling you on, that's the best telephone for you, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The 4225.
And your best address?
It's 18507 Keeling Trail, Katy, Texas, 76552.
Awesome. Let me get this information in here. And for you, Miss Mary, what's your birthday?
Don't give me that look. Tell me your birthday. It's June 4th, 1982.
All right, and then for Ben?
Ooh, that's another Mary question. It is December 14th, 2007.
Awesome. And then for Abby?
July 4th, 2010.
Perfect. Okay. So a couple questions really. Any insulin or diabetes at all?
No,
Internal cancer in the past years, breast, colon, pancreatic, uterine,
no, we're both pretty healthy.
heart attack, stroke, peripheral vascular disease, like any cardiovascular at all?
Nope,
Are you currently using oxygen?
nope,
Terminal illness?
nope.
Alzheimer's?
Not that I know of.
Any tobacco for either of you in the past 12 months?
Yeah, she smokes cigarettes.
Okay. Regularly?
Yeah, like 2 packs a day.
Okay. And then are either of you currently on probation or parole?
Oh, no,
Arrested or convicted of a DUI?
no.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So great. But before I go any further, so it does look like the needs analysis found some gaps in your coverage. So they do have this mandatory read-off letter for you. It just explains how the enrollment process works. But listen, Joe, Mary, like instead of me reading this whole thing for you, do you guys want me to make it easy on you? And just let me summarize it?
Yes, please.
Okay, all right, let me do that. Well, listen, what it's basically saying is like, if I'm going through these benefits, like, wow, okay, love these benefits. I see one of the groups are doing it, and they've approved it. Why really everybody's doing it. We're gonna go ahead and ask you to apply today. But listen, on the flip side, like if you're going through the benefits, you don't see a need or the value for your family at the time being, we're gonna ask you not to apply. Either way, so yes or no, that decision does have to be made today due to your service period and your enrollment period. We just do that in fairness to all our other members waiting to enroll. Those in your union, the Pipers Union, all in those in the others. But you'll see what they did. They made this like an easy no-brainer. I mean, it's gonna be easy, yes or no. But as of now, does all of that make sense for you, Joe and Mary? Do you kind of see why they set it up that way?
I mean, I guess.
Well, whatever you guys do decide to do, they do want to leave you guys leave your opinion on me on a Google review. This is basically my report card. Even though we've been out of school for some time, I do try to get a 5-star rating every time. So it's just like important. Like, you guys have any questions, concerns, anything at all? Please do not hesitate to ask. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, Joe, will you ask me some questions? You have them.
I'll probably have a couple questions. Yeah.
And Mary, for you as well.
Yeah, she'll definitely ask you some questions.
Perfect. Okay. Well, as you guys know, so over the years, right, we've gone through like contract negotiations. I know it's your pipe fitters union, benefit changes at work, it's really give and take. And I'll tell you one thing, lately, we're definitely paying a lot more, but getting a whole lot less. Now, our company, we actually have 50 international union advisory board presidents whose main job is simple: provide the best wages, best benefits, and get the best feedback from their members to come up with this list of concerns that applies to all working families, whether they're union or they're not. So I'm going to share those concerns with you, just so you can have an idea of what all the families are dealing with on a regular basis.
Okay.
You guys can see that okay?
Uh-huh.
Perfect. So the first concern is copays, deductibles, and lost wages. How is your health insurance through work, Joe?
I mean, I've never had to use it. I think it's okay.
Well, hey, I understand that. It's probably like all of us, right? No matter how good it is, there's always gaps that aren't covered. And doctors and hospitals look, they're doing great. All right, I don't know if you've seen the parking lot at the hospital lately, but I'm pretty sure it's not Hondas and Toyotas, is it?
Not for the doctors, no.
Definitely not. But listen, so for when you or your family like does get hurt or injured, then there are lost wages as well as out-of-pocket expenses that healthcare does not cover. So that's a pretty big concern for most of our families. Now, the next concern has to do with funeral and final expenses. So have either of you ever dealt with a funeral before?
No.
No, okay. Unfortunately, at some point we pretty much all have to deal with this. Do you guys happen to know what the average cost of a funeral is nowadays?
I have no idea.
To take a guess for me.
I don't know, like $10,000.
I mean, that's right on the money. Here in Texas, on average, all things considered, ends up being like $14,000 to $20,000. And listen, that is something that most of us don't have on setting aside the side. And if we have it set aside, it's not set aside for that. And it's a huge expense that burdens a lot of families. Most importantly, it puts a lot of stress on those surviving members to take care of those needs. And people don't have this money laying around. If they did, like I said, it's not put in the bank for that. We know how expensive it is to pay for an AC here in Texas. Things happen, right? Unexpected expenses.
Yeah.
Now, that was a really big concern for a lot of our families. Now, the next one here is paycheck loss. So obviously, no matter how these benefits are through work, they won't keep up with your paycheck. All right. They're not going to keep a paycheck coming in. Now, that is a huge concern for Mary, for your children, or for other families, due to the fact that, I mean, listen, Joe, if you're not making money and you're not working, you think those bills should stop coming in? Not at all, right? And that was a major concern for our families that they wanted to be addressed. Now, the next one has to do with mortgage and rent protection. In this case, mortgage. Now, aside from, taking care of the emotional trauma with an unexpected death can cause, having the surviving spouse and kids move out of their home, take care of those needs, sell for pennies on the dollar, they want to make sure that that's taken care of for them. 9 times out of 10, Joe, what do you think happens when the breadwinner passes away?
Oh, they lose the house. Sure.
They lose the house, they have to get rid of it, refinance, the list goes on and on. And for families, that was a really big issue that needed to be addressed. Now, the next concern has to do for our families, children's protection. Due to the fact that the benefits don't provide any permanent coverage for kids or protecting them in the future, due to loss or, both of you guys, this case, you and Mary, Joe, now they wanted to make sure that they had something in place for the kids. Now, kids are very vulnerable for that experience and due to the consequences of death of both of the parents. That's why it's an absolute top priority. And it was one of the biggest concerns for all of our families is I know you guys do. You guys are probably great parents that care a lot for your children. Now, the next concern that our union board members found out from the feedback of all of our families is terminal illness, specifically cancer. Now, in the United States for men, Joe, it's a 1 in 2 chance between you and me who's getting cancer first. Flip of a coin. For women, in your case, Mary, it's 1 out of 3. And after 65, it goes up to 1 out of 2. And I don't know if you guys knew this. I don't know if you know how expensive or dealt with someone who has cancer. We all tend to know someone nowadays. It's the leading cause of bankruptcy in the United States that's devastating families. Did you know that?
No, I didn't. I knew it was expensive because my grandma had cancer. She beat it. And,
Awesome. Good to hear.
She's like a big investor, so she had money for it. But yeah, I know it costed a lot of money.
It's extremely expensive, but as you know, that's a huge concern for our families. And now the next concern has to do with group benefits. Okay. Now, group benefits are great, but all the individuals, we have different needs. Now, more importantly, you cannot rely on those group benefits because you don't own them, you don't control them. And believe it or not, aside from retirement, people can lose these benefits if they are unemployed or no longer working for the company, long illness, anything along those guards, especially a death. Now, they just wanted to make sure that they have these permanent benefits, excuse me, in place, where it goes hand in hand and it's tied to your workplace. Do you see how important that would be and why that's such a big concern for our families?
Yeah.
Now, the next concern has to do with affordability. Okay. Now, affordability, you would think to take care of all these concerns, Joe, every bit of them. It's usually just way too expensive, right? Now, we sit down with people making $7 an hour, some making $77 an hour. Some are working tons of overtime, some are retired, laid off. But like, regardless of anyone's situation, they do want to make sure this is affordable for everybody. Now, the way they did set this up is, Joe, let's just say your boss comes up to you tomorrow. Okay. You're doing your pipe fitting, boss comes up. He says, Joe, instead of working 40 hours this week, we're going to pay you for 41 because everything's going so well right now. Business is booming. Now, are you going to look over to Mary and tell her we're going to go buy matching Ferraris or go build our new dream home or, go on a vacation, buy the kids brand new cars and anything like that just within 1 hour?
No.
No chance, right? Now, the flip side of that, if your boss comes up to you, Joe, and he says, Joe, business is not going well. We don't want to lay off people. But what we're going to do is we're going to let people off an hour early on Friday. So instead of the 40 hours, we're going to give you 39. Now it's the same concept. Are you going to go into, tell Mary or go into work and say, well, I got to cancel Netflix, get rid of HBO Max, get rid of the phone bill. Mary can't go get her nails done anymore. Any of that, not going to happen, right?
Not HBO Max, no.
No chance. But exactly, the main thing there is, that 1 hour is not going to change your lifestyle. That's when they set it up this way. So what I want to do is I want to show you how that 1 hour will take care of all of those needs. Okay.
All right.
And you can see that. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
Now it just says single worksheet. Okay.
Perfect. Sorry, I had a little technical difficulty. Now, just so I said, help you guys use an illustration for me to show us how to set up for you. But let's just imagine for you, Joe. All right, we're gonna call it over there job A, over there on the right. Now, if job A, you're gonna be making $14.75 a week, right about what your weekly income is. And then on job B over here on the right, you're making about $14.35. Well, I can't type right now. There we go. Now, the only difference between these two sides, Joe, is the pay. Everything's the same. Co-workers, responsibilities, your job, everything. And so they wanted to take that 1 hour's wage here on the right and apply it to something that would be super beneficial and address all those concerns in a very simple and straightforward manner. Okay.
Okay. I don't see anything. Oh, wait. No.
They're loading?
Yeah, I'm loading.
Sorry, I know it's been acting up a little bit. Now, the next thing that it's offering you guys from what it looks like here has to do with you guys' copays. Let's see if it's going to come up here. Perfect. Okay. So again, these benefits do cover your entire family. Like I said before, insurance benefits, they're great. They don't cover everything. So what this program does is it's paying you $100 every time you step foot in urgent care or a hospital, for a bump, bee sting, bruise, anything at all. $200 for overnight stay and $400 for anything in the ICU or intensive care unit. Now, it's also providing you a $10,000 to $20,000 benefit for the loss of one hand, 1 foot, or sight in one eye. And the shocker of it all is a $20,000 to $100,000 accidental death benefit that takes care of anything if you were to happen to an accident. And as you can see over here, Joe, you have nothing at all like that at your current job. You see how those benefits could be a huge help?
Yeah,
Now, the next thing has to do, of course, with your final expenses, okay? Now, this has to go along the lines with your freedom of choice, and I want to show you this just so you can see it, okay? I like to show people what it's going to look like. And just let me know when you can see this, okay? Can you see that okay?
can't see you.
Is that better?
Still can't see you.
Oh, weird. Are you still
Oh,
on-
wait, now I see it. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, yeah, I see it.
So this is your freedom of choice. Now we both know, this takes care of the funeral and final expenses, but there's a 100% chance that we're going to use this one, okay? Now, what the freedom of choice is, the freedom of choice certificate, it's going to take care of all that financial burden that your family does not have to deal with at the funeral home. It's already been set up with every single funeral home in the world. So your freedom of choice is worth $30,000 for you, Joe. And for Mary as well, she's getting $30,000 of this benefit. Now, like I said, the number here on the front of the certificate and the American Income, we're going to take care of all of it. You just give us a call. The funeral home can't ask how much is on the policy. They can only communicate what's on how much the funeral is. And here on the back is where that money will be listed, and we'll take care of everything else. Now, the obvious choice here is the way that this is a win, not an if situation. Okay, when your family does need it. Now, Mary, like for you on the worst day of your life, you can see how this is going to be a huge help, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Of course.
Now, the next one has to do with your income protection. So, Mary, if something happens to Joe, you're probably going to miss him, or I hope you do, right? Now, are you going to, what else do you think you're going to miss up a couple of weeks and a couple of months?
This money.
His income, right? Now, what this is providing you guys is a program provides you $100,000 of income protection for any kind of death to take care of this concern. Now, Mary, this would give you $2,700 every 3 years to know that you're getting paid just as if Joe were still there. Now, this gives you time to figure things out, get back on your feet, don't do with your life, your job, the children, any other insurance money. And right now, you guys don't have anything like that in place, okay? You see how, that could be a huge help, why they set it up that way to make sure that income's still coming in.
Yeah.
You guys have any questions so far?
No.
Awesome. Okay. Well, besides the income, the next thing that people were concerned about is their home. All right. That's exactly why the benefit software is offering you guys $100,000 of mortgage protection. Now, for you, Joe, statistically, right, you're probably not going to die during your working years. It's probably not going to be a health issue like a heart attack, stroke, probably do some sort of accident. So it's funded by an accidental death benefit to save you the most money. And right now, you don't have anything like that at your current job, nothing at all. Now, the next thing that the software is offering you guys is looks like the children's college education. Now, most families that I do sit down with, right, they probably want their kids to go to college or have the most opportunities in life. And I know you guys are those parents as well. And statistically, the biggest thing that would prevent that is the loss of one or both parents. So the benefit software looks like it's giving $100,000 worth of this benefit. So that's $50,000 for each of the children's for Ben and Abby. It's a huge amount. Now, I don't know if you guys know, but that's a lot of money for school. And as you guys can see, you don't have anything like that in place so far, okay? And the final thing here, one of them, is it looks like it's giving you guys a $10,000 life insurance policy for Ben and Abby. Again, for them being 18 and younger. So that way they can qualify. When they turn 21, they can convert it to 5 times that amount, or $50,000 of permanent life insurance. No health questions, no jumping through hoops, anything at all. But having this in place is really their key to having coverage down the road. Otherwise, life happens, you might not be able to qualify. Or worse yet, it's way down the line and ends up being too expensive. Now, the next thing here is your terminal illness benefit. What this is it's an important feature of the program, because if you are diagnosed with any sort of terminal illness, such as cancer, you can access half of your freedom of choice and half of your income protection while you're alive. It turns to a living benefit. And so they're providing you $95,000, excuse me, $65,000 for this fund. And Joe Mary, this gives you guys the chance to get your family the best situation possible financially if you get the worst news imaginable. Okay. Mary, if you heard that Joe was diagnosed with cancer, not only are you dealing with it emotionally, but it's going to be a financial burden. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Now, the remainder of this benefit turns to a death benefit. So your current benefits at work, they don't provide anything like this. And Mary, for you, you are getting $15,000 worth of this terminal illness benefit. Now, Joe, so like unlike these permanent benefits, which you can lose, they're not permanent, they're not portable like these are. You could get your job, you can lose it, you can retire, leave the union, so on and so on, right? You're going to keep these benefits. Now, in addition, if you're in a qualified layoff, they're going to cover you on these benefits for 3 months. Now, if you're in a qualified strike, they're going to cover for you for guess how long? A full year, 12 months. That way, you and your family, if something goes on in the pipefitters union, don't lose access to your benefits when you need them the most. Okay. And by the way, the best part, Joe, you don't ever have to pay anything back. All right. And you guys have any questions so far? Does all that make sense?
Yeah, for the income benefit, it says guaranteed. So like no matter how I die, it's gonna pay out.
So for your income benefit, that is again taking care of your income protection, God forbid something happened to you, it's structured on an accidental policy, like during your working years. If something were to happen to you, it's normally not like a heart attack or stroke, right? It's a freak accident. They do it that way because it's going to save you the most money. But if something does happen to you, that money will be able to go to Mary and Ben and Abby every single month. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Now, Joe Mary, I know like I've reviewed everything with you. Hope I've answered all of your questions. Or guys keep coming at me with if you have any more. But I'm sure by now you can see when we work with 20,000 groups, including your pipefitters union. And it's a program, above all others that provides families with the most over any other company because the value and the full circle of protection. But I mean, listen, Joe, if something were to happen to you, like a terrible car accident and you left the family behind, you got the worst news imaginable. Your family's getting $370,000 tax-free, all for about 1 hour's wage per week. With your current job, there's no guarantee at all that your family's going to receive anything. So I want to ask you this, Joe, and for you, Mary, as well. If either of you went into work tomorrow, woke up tomorrow, and you had a choice between job A here on the left and job B here on the right, which job would you take?
I would have to take job B.
And why in the world are you taking job B if you're making more money at job A?
Because Mary would force me to. She's been talking about benefits, but yeah, I mean, job A doesn't have any benefits.
And listen, it was a dumb question to even ask. That's what everybody says, right? It's as simple as that. Provides the most benefits and the most value for your family. Now, listen, Joe and Mary, as I mentioned earlier, you do have to qualify for this, okay? Everyone wants these benefits. And like I mentioned before, I do have to make sure you can go through with it and you can enroll. But let me go ahead and ask you a couple of these questions to see if you guys can qualify, okay?
Shoot.
And just let me know when you can see this, okay?
I can, but I'm dyslexic, so.
Well, don't worry. I'm going to read through these pretty quickly, but if I need to slow down, ask me. I don't want to put you to sleep during this section, okay?
Oh, you gonna read it?
But have either of you ever been diagnosed, not diagnosed, advised you have alcoholism, alcohol abuse, membership to AA?
No.
Asked to reduce your alcohol consumption?
Nope.
Ever had drugs not prescribed by a physician, barbiturates, hallucinogens, cocaine, amphetamines, tranquilizers, narcotics, sedatives?
Nope.
Ever had your driver's license suspended or revoked due to a moving violation?
Nope.
Excuse me. In the next 2 years, do you plan on becoming a commercial pilot?
No.
Either of you?
No.
Okay. You know, people get kicked out of that question. And in the last 2 years, have either of you participated in auto, motorcycle, boat racing, parachute jumping, skin, scuba, skydiving?
Nope.
Have any of the presenters ever been advised to take tests and not done so, such as for high blood pressure, heart attack, strokes, heart, blood, or circulatory disorders?
No.
Any of the following conditions: diabetes, endocrine disorder? Do either of you take thyroid medication?
No.
Any trouble with paralysis, epilepsy, mental disease disorder, any nervous system or brain disorder? This does include ADHD, depression, anxiety, PTSD.
Nope.
Any trouble with arthritis, knees, back, other joints besides just getting older?
Nope.
And the best of you guys' knowledge, you're in good health, correct? No departure from your good health?
Yeah, we're good.
And have either of you ever been diagnosed or asked to be treated for cancer or unexplained masses, including tumors?
No,
Any marijuana in the past year?
no,
And only Mary smokes cigarettes, correct?
yeah,
Okay. Any AIDS or HIV?
nope,
Never tested positive?
nope,
Age-related conditions, immune deficiency syndrome,
nope,
loss of hearing, loss of sight,
nope,
rheumatoid arthritis, musculoskeletal disorder,
nope,
disease of the breast, uterus, or ovaries,
nope,
kidney, prostate, urinary bladder, or genital disorder,
nope,
cirrhosis, hepatitis, liver disorder, or any blood disorder, or ever received a bone marrow transplant,
no,
asthma, emphysema, sleep apnea, or respiratory disorder.
nope,
And either of you are resident of a nursing facility or been diagnosed having Alzheimer's, terminal illness, or requiring oxygen, correct? No.
no,
In the past 5 years, have either of you been hospitalized overnight?
no,
Do you take any medical prescription drugs in the past 5 years besides your basic vitamins?
no,
And two more here, and I'm assuming the past 5 years, you guys have had like a normal physical, right? Height, weight, blood pressure.
yeah,
Awesome. Last one here. Have either of you ever been rejected or failed to receive a policy that you applied for?
no,
Okay, perfect. So I am not an underwriter, but based on what I am seeing here, you guys can qualify to access those benefits. Now the program is set up on a once a month computerized deduction through your banking system, because doing it this way, Joe Mary, it actually gives you guys a massive discount rate. And I like saving money as much as you guys do. But you guys' program comes out right to the $130 per month that can be handled anywhere between the 7th and the 20th of the month. What day works best for you? When do you guys' biggest bills normally come out during the month? Is it like kind of towards the beginning or towards the end for the mortgage and all those things?
towards the beginning, but you said it was how much a month?
Right at that 1 hour's wage, or $130 again, excuse me, a month. It's about $32 a week.
Yeah. I'm just gonna be honest with you, Parker. We're just gonna have to pass on that. Everything looked, I mean, it seems like a good program and all, but right now it's just not really a good time. We've got a lot of financial obligations, you know, the mortgage, we were thinking about refinancing, and kids just went back to school, so we just did, you know, they're back to school shopping, and things are just a little bit tight right now, but in a couple months, we'll be, you know, back to normal. We can probably get it in place.
Yeah, and listen, Joe, and for you too, I understand where you're coming from. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong here, but do expenses come up out of nowhere all the time?
Yeah,
Constantly, right? I mean, I had to spend so much money on just my car getting serviced last week for unexpected nails in the tire, oil change, and they get you for everything. Like something's always coming up. And it's not easy. It's just not easy for us to take care of those needs. And listen, I'm being completely honest with you. I understand where you're coming from. I do want to let you guys know. So basically, the reason that's called the needs analysis software, what we just went through, right? That's just designed to expose your coverage and your financial needs. Now, the goal of this, Joe, and for you, Mary, it's designed to take care of all these concerns without breaking the bank. You know, look, I hope you can know by now, I'm here to help you. In no such way I'm here to hurt you. Job B is simply just what the software is set up based around your program for that income level on what we mentioned earlier. Now, I know you mentioned that 1 hour's wage, right? It's like not going to change your lifestyle. You pick Job B in a blink of an eye. I know you jump on it if it was free, but I do just want to help you the best that I know how to. As of now, that 130 per month is just not going to fit in the budget, right? There's too much going on.
yeah, there's no.
Okay, listen, no worries. Joe, you remember I told you earlier, like regardless per situation, they want this to be affordable for everybody. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna make a few adjustments for you now just to get you started on the program. Later down the road, since you own it, permanent and portable, you can make all the necessary changes you would like. You want to add to it, take away, anything you want to do to your program, you can do. The main things we're making sure we get you in on it today during your service period, so you do not lose access to this from your union or in regards to protecting your family. I know for you guys, we talked earlier, the income protection, the final expenses and the funeral, as well as the college education is very huge for you based on our conversation today. I'm gonna make an adjustment here. What we can get you in on that. It's looking like it's coming out to right about, give or take. Let's see here, make this so cute that. So it's right about $25 a week, or right at $100 a month, to take care of those needs. Now, that can still come out between the 7th and the 20th. What do you think? Which one of those days will work best? I know your bills come out at the beginning of the month. You want to put it towards the end so you'll have some time to adjust, take away from some of those bills.
We really just can't afford the $100 a month either, honestly.
Well, listen, as I told you guys, Joe, I get it. I understand it. I told you, right? It's difficult nowadays to make ends meet. Every time we get caught up, another bill comes up, puts us back in the hole, something happens. But when you think about it, Joe, I mean, and kind of come equal with me here, over the years, when something ever did come up, you've been able to make adjustments when necessary to keep food on the table, AC on the wintertime, AC on the summertime here in Texas, and take care of your family. A lot of times our families, they take you and I for granted. But you get up every day, you go to work, you bring the money home, you put food on the table, you make ends meet every single week, every single month, every single year. Now, the only thing that could have ever prevent this from happening is all of a sudden you aren't here anymore. All of a sudden that income that everyone took for granted is cut off forever. And that's an adjustment you're not going to be able to make. And your family can possibly basically say it's impossible to make without you. Now, sure, Joe, this is another adjustment. It is. But you need to treat it as if your taxes just went up a little bit. You're here and you can make it to always prevent your family from ever being faced with an adjustment that they could not make without you, nor want to. Now, your program right now is set up on that 1 hour's wage per week. And we took care of those prioritized resources, being the final expenses, the freedom of choice, your income protection, as well as the college education for the kiddos. Now, that's right at about $25 a week with $100 a month. That has inflation protection built in. Now, is that comfortable for you, or do I need to make an adjustment?
Yeah, we would have to make an adjustment if we were gonna do it.
Well, let me go in here for you. So, Joe and Mary, what it's looking like. So right here, as it's structured, it's about $20 a week, or right at $80 a month. Now, how is that between the 7th and the 20th? I'm assuming the end of the month is best for you guys based on that.
Actually, probably the beginning of the month.
Put it with everything else?
Like the 10th.
Okay. Perfect. Let me get that put in here. So we're going to run through the application process real fast. I'm going to do that to be super quick. I promise you that much. And then I also want you guys to be aware that everyone, they always want to take advantage of this program. All right. Because the value, it's very small compared to the amount of benefits you guys are getting. You're getting $370,000 worth of benefits for $80 a month. Now, it is rare, but sometimes a member does cancel. This can be a week, a month, year later. And we end up seeing the same people in the next service period 2 or 3 years later, and they're upset because they no longer have what they had. They're no further ahead than they were, and most people end up wanting to reapply for the benefits. But the problem here is that the program's either more expensive, or worse yet, they can't even qualify due to some sort of health issue. Okay. Now, the point of this is that it's not a short-term fix. It is a long-term solution for you, Joe, for you, Mary, and for Ben and Abby. And the longer you're in the program, the more valuable it is. So if this if this $80 a month is uncomfortable for you, let's fix it right now. But how is everything feeling for you?
No, we should be able to roll with that.
Okay. I also want to emphasize that the first draft is going to happen in the next 24 to 48 hours. But your bank might not reflect it for the first 10 days. So be on the lookout for that. And I want to make sure we're good to go on the first draft. That money will be there, because if there are any issues, it creates a lot of headache for both of us. And it reflects poorly on me, which can be very jeopardizing for me losing my job, which I would not like to happen. This is how I put food on for my table, right? Food on the table for my family, excuse me. And it looks like I pressured you into something when that's not the case. But are we good to go on that first draft?
Yeah, we're good to go. The money will definitely be in there.
Awesome. Well, make sure to keep this in place for you and your family, Joe Mary. Because I promise you the next time that we meet, you're going to be really happy that you did. And you guys have my number saved. Please reach out if you have any questions or concerns. And you guys have a blessed rest of your day, okay?
Thank you. You too, Parker.